La 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 la. Okay, that's working. Now let's see if my desktop audio is working. It is. Excellent. Okay, let's try that again. Hello, party people. So, every time I sit down to work on the Dawkins AI article, and I generally don't do long-form stuff, I'm trying to expand, I keep finding either topics I need to research, or clips or images or whatever that I think should be included in the, for lack of a better term, video essay. Yeah, so in order to avoid that keeping all of my time and preventing me from making any content, I decided today I'd do an early morning show. So let me do a chatbot check. Of course it isn't. Okay, 1 second. Let me pop out my chat, put that in the same window or on the same monitor as my OBS. You go there, OBS comes there, and they won't overlap again. This problem was sorted last week out of nowhere, and now it's a problem again, because of course it is. Okay. Alright. Let me get that sorted back where it should be. Ooh, excuse me. I do apologize. Okay. It's actually quite cold in the room as well. I've turned off the heater, and it's comfortably cool, we'll say. Plus, with the computer running, it does warm up. Okay. Well, we start where we usually start, with Sic Semper Mentalis. Thus always to dickheads. And, yeah, those of you who follow me on X, you will notice that I have, in fact, still been producing content. Just none of it has been video. Yeah, so we'll go to this fella first, or this situation first, and cover this. This is just a feel-good story.
So this Florida couple just casually rolled up to Bank of America one day with a moving truck and two sheriff's deputies. But although it might have looked like some kind of insane robbery, what they were actually doing was completely legal. You see, Warren and Maureen had bought a foreclosed $165,000 home in Naples back in 2009 entirely with cash.
Because they purchased it with cash, it became a problem. Most corporate, financial, etc. interests now don't want you to use cash because it requires a physical asset that they have to move from one place to another. Yeah. Personally, I think we should all go back to using as much hard currency as possible. But I understand the difficulties and the inconvenience of such a thing. Plus, you know, carrying large amounts of cash on you. And I mean, they paid $165,000 in cash. So that's a 165,000, I was going to say pound notes, but it's dollar bills. Sorry. But, yeah, that of course also makes you potentially a target. Though, if you're only carrying 165 of them, you're probably okay. And I do believe there's a $5,000 US note. Hang on one moment. Now my curiosity has been aroused. What is the highest denomination bill in the U.S. currency system? There's apparently a $10,000 bill. There is also a $100,000 gold certificate, which was the highest denomination ever printed by the U.S., never circulated to the public. Printed in 1934, featured Woodrow Wilson, go friggin' figure, my friend Bleach's favorite president, and was used strictly as an accounting device for transactions between Federal Reserve banks. Private ownership of this specific bill is illegal. For general public circulation, the highest denomination ever issued was the $10,000 bill, which featured Salmon P. Chase. Who the fuck is Salmon P. Chase? We'll have a look at that in just a moment as well. Today, the highest denomination actively printed is the $100 bill. So you would have to have 1,650 of those to pay in cash. Okay, let's find out who Salmon P. Chase was. I'll pronounce it Salmon. Salmon Portland Chase was an American politician and jurist who was the 6th Chief Justice of the U.S. from 1864 to his death in 1870-something. Okay, then. Anyway, we'll finish this story.
So even though they had no mortgage at all, Bank of America actually filed a foreclosure notice on their fully paid house just 1 year later. As it turns out, the bank had simply confused them with the previous owner who actually had defaulted on a loan there.
Okay, so the guy who sold the house probably didn't tell the bank he had sold it so that his credit rating wouldn't suffer. And, probably took the $165,000 and bolted out of the country.
But although Warren begged the bank to fix the obvious mistake, no one would even return his calls or letters for months. So Warren hired a lawyer named Todd Allen, who managed to get the foreclosure dismissed in just 2 months. A judge then ordered Bank of America to pay them over $2,500 in legal fees for the wrongful foreclosure.
Here's where it gets really friggin' interesting. The bank has already made a mistake and attempted to foreclose on a completely paid off house that the bank had no title to, no right to whatsoever. Then this happens. They get a judgment against them, get told they have to, pony up $2,500-ish in fees. And this happens.
But although the court order was crystal clear, Bank of America still completely ignored the judgment for over 5 months. So Warren just went back to court and got a writ of execution, giving him the legal right to seize the bank's assets instead.
Literally rolled up to a bank with a truck and went, "That's mine, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. You don't pay the court, fuck you."
That is when he showed up at a Bank of America branch with sheriff's deputies and movers and started pointing at desks, computers, and cash drawers to load into the truck. And within just 1 hour, a visibly shaken bank manager had cut Warren a check for $5,772 to make him stop. So this Florida couple...
Yeah, they say you can't fight City Hall. That's true. But you can actually kick the shit out of the banks. Okay, moving on. The question posed is, who in their right mind goes against a grizzly bear? And, fellas, gentlemen of color. Also, who the fuck wears their socks that high with shorts on? It's mighty white of you. Stereotypically. Guys, if you take this guy and smush them together into one, they're still not quite a match for this guy, physically. Temperamentally, I don't think any of these people could manage to be a match for this guy. Yeah, you're in the wrong spot when you punch a guy in the back as he's beating the crap out of one of your buddies that he's just knocked down, and you have no effect on him. You may be outmatched. And then you go and kick him in the mouth. Yeah. One thing I will say for these gentlemen of color, you are extremely... Also, how the hell are you that dark in the face and that light in the body? Dear God, I didn't think black people tanned that much. But, yeah, at this point, you guys should be extremely grateful this gentleman doesn't know any grappling. I think that guy in the yellow shorts just decided, screw it, I'm going to the car. I'm going home. Yeah. And, of course, I had to comment, some days you get the bear, some days the bear plants you on your ass. Yeah. Of course, people always wishing for more. Yeah, it was at this point he knew that he fucked up. Not this guy. This guy, after he hit him the first time and had no effect and then tried it again. Also, for the love of God, learn to fight. Everybody. Partly because it actually will make you less violent. I know that seems like a contradiction and completely unlikely, but it is quite true. The more you are capable of, the less likely you are willing to do violence. So a horse is defending itself from a, as this fella says, a shitty, shameless stalker. pause here, and you'll notice as the brown horse comes in, gentleman in the pinkish shirt is being a bit of a dickhead. I honestly don't know what would encourage you to cuddle up to a horse's arse, but whatever works for you. Also, that's a big fucking horse. There is no sound on this clip, by the way. And I don't know why no one is telling this guy to knock it off. He's kicking and punching and fucking with the horses. And he's going to get exactly what he deserves right about here. Hey, showing off. How proud. Right in the face. Yeah. We'll just scroll that back just a touch. You notice he's not moving less than a second later? And now everyone is concerned about his well-being. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about it before he got kicked directly in the face. Oof. Oof with a hoof. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. That's the sort of thing that... there's a reason you're not supposed to mess with animals, dude. You clearly don't understand horses, and you got precisely what you deserved for that. You can see his hand goes flying up in the air as well. Well, because horses kick pretty hard. Also, you notice they dragged him? He may have a neck injury. Moving him is not suggested at all. Rolling him around is also bad, because he's probably got, at the very least, a broken jaw. Yeah, around you fucked. Found out you did. Indeed. I hope the horse kicked his fucking teeth out. Well, Sheila, it's not his teeth you need to worry about. It's the squishy bit back here that you need to worry about more. So I'm reasonably sure that guy has, at the very least, one mother of a concussion. Not sure what this one is, but we'll have a quick look at it. It is in the list, after all. This video... Oh, yes. The engineers from India. The important people who will, of course, save North America's economy. This video is a perfect representation of what happens when people from India and other third world countries make memes. Oh, Rumblebot says, thanks for the follow, J. Hey Dutch. Hey, Ardent. Hey, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Third world countries make memes on social media trying to brag about their superior intellect and culture. Now, it's difficult to tell what the outcome is going to be initially when you watch. If you know physics, you'll figure it out fairly rapidly. But clearly what they're doing here is attempting to put this tire on this spinning drum to launch it off of this ramp, for lack of a better term. This is insanely entertaining because of all the effort that goes into the failure at the end. Having a lot of trouble getting it off the spindle. So his buddy comes in to help, and like Chad, he actually does manage to get it off, though that stick obviously only just came off the ground. And by this point you can figure out what's about to happen. Yes. Also, threaten your friends with sticks. That's always good. Unbelievable. Yes. Doctors and engineers, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a perfect representation of what happens when black supremacists make memes on social media trying to brag about their superiority. Oh, dude, no. That looks bad and painful. Also, definitely a dickhead moment. Okay, so, oh, the full Aussie pops in. Hey, hi, Jay. Oh, wait, Jay Hey Dutch is Jay. Ah, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, minor celebrity Jay from the Full Aussie Podcast. I'm just fucking around. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for the follow. This is something the FAP crew should do. It's one of the most entertaining things that I do. I mostly started doing it for me, but I think it's just fun to share it. I will point out that if you are going to attempt a gymnastics maneuver, maybe rehearse it a few times beforehand. just because you are black and therefore naturally athletically gifted doesn't mean that God gave you that specific athletic gift. Grant's here too. Hi, Grant. How you doing? Let's see. Get out of here. I'm all starstruck now. Seriously, though, thanks for popping in. Excuse me. Okay, moving on. What have we got next? From Mario Novel. Okay, we don't need to pause that one. Chicago police had Derek Jordan, 42, boxed in an alley in Humboldt Park. He was wanted for a shooting on the expressway. He rammed a bus, a squad car, and hit a pedestrian trying to escape. Officer Walzer yells, "Get out of the fucking car or I'll kill you." Fair. I mean, he is pointing a gun at you. Then fires 6 shots through a tinted window. Walzer is stripped of his badge. Because of course he was. George Floyd's attorneys now represent the family. COPA, not sure what COPA is. Police Association, so probably some internal body that, Chicago Office of Police Attorneys or something. Mr. Grant Gregory is in. She is a celebrity. Yes, she is. So are you, Mr. Grant. At least to me. But then again, I'm a celebrity in my own mind, so, yeah, mind you, I'm like, what's after Z on the Z list here? Anyway, excuse me. The body cam shows a man trying to ram his way through a police perimeter. It also shows an officer who announced he was going to kill someone before he did. Watch it yourself. What do you see? Okay. Just because the officer said, "Get out of the car or I'll kill you," is no reason, in my opinion, to discipline the officer. Especially considering what this person was after doing. I will remind you, Derek Jordan had shot someone on the expressway, had rammed a bus, a squad car, and hit a pedestrian trying to escape. So yeah, he's not exactly citizen of the year. That fucking car! That fucking car! I'll fucking shoot you! And he didn't say kill, he said shoot. So this may be a case of mildly deceptive editing again. And Grant followed me. Thank you, Grant. Get out! 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 Get out of the fucking car! In the interest of, community mindedness as a content creator, please do go over to the Full Aussie podcast, the FAP. Perfect. And subscribe to them. It's loads of fun. And don't forget to give Abe a hard time when you get there. That scared the shit out of me. Oh, sorry, Jay. Yeah, sorry. I'll kill you! I'll kill you! Okay, now he's yelling, "I'll kill you." But to be fair, he's not exactly being gentle with that Mercedes. Yeah. One thing that body cams make it very difficult to tell is whether or not there's anything, what the angle of fire is. Now, granted, this does look like the body cam is down here somewhere on the middle chest, and the officer, of course, would be firing from above it. So your angle of fire is not too bad. I think part of the problem, though, with tinted windows is you can't see for sure what's beyond your target, and that's actually an issue with firearm safety. You need to know what is your target and what is beyond it. Now, I have watched this clip. There is no gore that I recall, so we don't have to worry about having to blur anything for YouTube. But, yeah, the officer yelling, "I'll kill you," is really not a good reason to, how to put it, to be disciplined. Yeah. Okay. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there may be some gore, so we'll stop there. But the question is, what do I see? I see a guy using a vehicle as a deadly weapon against police officers, and I see police officers attempting to stop him. I don't see a problem here. I'll throw Mario a follow. Let's see. A friend who has worked in Chicago his entire life tells me it's not that violent. Yeah, he's a tail gunner on a school bus. Yeah. It do be like that sometimes. For those of you who don't know, J.B. Pritzker is the governor of Illinois. known for being a mildly fat bastard, and he's too busy to keep Chicago safe. Yeah. Grant says, keep doing the good work. Oh, thank you very much for the $2, Grant. Deeply appreciated. Keep doing the good work, mate. I'll catch up with you later. Take it easy. Let's see. Today is Friday. You guys will be... Well, for me, it'll be tomorrow morning when you're streaming next. I believe. Unless there's something in between. If there is, let me know. Feel free to drop a link in the chat, by the way, guys. To the channel and anything in particular that you feel like. Let's see. What have we got here? I also carry my firearm and thousands of dollars. Yeah. This is one of the things that does happen in the video. When they open his car, loads of money and I believe it was a Glock with a switch actually fell out of the car. Comply and you don't die. Well, you know, that's it's a little bit Judge Dredd inspired, but yeah. Okay, that's getting political there now, and we're not really wanting to fall into that just yet. Okay, well, actually, we are going to get political now. Search for the word FAP, you'll find us. Yes, search FAP, do not search Blue Waffle. Also, do not drink Foster's, no matter how many times you see people from Australia doing so. From Mario ZNA, Greeks do not want migrants in their country. Patriots from Greece are doing everything possible to stop invaders from reaching the shores of Greece. There is no other way. I don't believe this is anything. Now, they're saying that they're firing warning shots. Let's be real. And, Foster's is shit. Yeah. You guys have Foster's. Here in Newfoundland, we have something called Jockey Club. It's basically just, if you suspect you may have some form of urinary tract infection, you drink 2 or 3 Jockey Club and everything flushes out. I don't know. Now, they actually managed to find one that appeared to have a woman and potentially a child on board. That's a rarity. Yeah. And we'll try not to giggle at the word Lesbos, which is a Greek island. Okay. So, from Sic Semper Mentalis to my newest favorite section, which unfortunately today I only have the one story for. Yeah, it's time for Base Japan. And, yeah, this is further chronicling my discovery of the fact that while we are in a culture war, so are the Japanese. But it's also discovering that we have way more in common than I thought we did. So from BSAT Properties, I was on a train in Tokyo. We stopped between stations. The announcement in Japanese, then in English, "We apologize for the delay. We will resume shortly." Excuse me. The delay was maybe 3 minutes. Not a big deal. True. Personally, I've never been on a train Actually, that's not true. The only time I've been on a train was commuter trains in Calgary. Not an experience I wish to repeat, as I'm not much for the tin can. But, yeah. Not really a great experience of mine. But 3 minutes as a delay is next to nothing. I've had worse than that on a city bus. When the train started moving again, another announcement. "We sincerely apologize for the delay. We were stopped for 3 minutes and 20 seconds. This is unacceptable. Thank you for your patience." 3 minutes and 20 seconds. They measured it exactly and called it unacceptable. When I got off at my stop, there were station staff on the platform bowing and handing out delay certificates. I took one out of curiosity. It was an official document stating that the train had been delayed by 3 minutes and 20 seconds, signed and stamped. The staff member said in English, "For your employer, so they know the delay was not your fault." I said, "I'm a tourist, I don't need it." He looked confused. "But the delay affected you. You deserve an apology." I love that culture. I love that culture of accountability still exists in Japan. I really wish it still existed in the West. 3 minutes. They were treating a 3-minute delay like a major incident. Later, I mentioned this to a Japanese friend. They said, oh yes, delay certificates are normal. Trains are supposed to be exactly on time. If they are late, they must apologize. Now, the way that makes that sound is if that's some sort of corporate policy. It's not. It's social policy, which, wonderful. I said 3 minutes isn't late. It's nothing. My friend said, in Japan, 3 minutes is late. On time means on time, not approximately on time. They said the train company probably investigated why there was a 3-minute delay. They'll find the cause and fix it so it doesn't happen again. I kept the certificate. It's framed in my apartment now, a reminder that somewhere in the world people care about 3 minutes. Yeah, just amazing. Let's see here. 3 minutes late is... Oops, my apologies. Let me scroll down to that. Tokyo, 3 minutes late is unacceptable. Lagos, the bus came today. What more do you want? Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, up next is the comment section, or as I occasionally refer to it these days, the clown show. Might have something to do with my musical choice for this segment. Okay. Now, I do apologize. I don't know what most of these are now, having not been producing content most of the week. But, yeah. David Packman. Well, aren't you just a wonderful individual? From the Liz variant, who catches a follow. This man on video asks what we should do with Trump supporters once Trump is gone, because he can't see them as normal people anymore. For those of you who don't know, David Packman is a... political commentator, somewhat more advanced in what he's doing than what I'm doing. I like to entertain. He likes to not entertain. I believe he would call himself informative. I wouldn't. This is the left's real problem. 75 million Americans don't stop being human because they voted differently than you. Dehumanizing people you disagree with isn't righteousness. It's a warning sign. What lovely physiognomy you have, David. Okay, we'll play... That's a minute and 10. We'll probably play a short snip of this, I think.
What on earth do we do with the Trump supporters once Donald Trump is gone? We have to figure it out. Now, at some point, whether it's sooner or later or kind of soon or, whenever, the Trump era is going to end. Trumpism may continue. We don't know yet.
Trumpism. Don't refer to it as MAGA or America First. Make sure you refer to it by the beast, the demon that you have created in your head.
The damage from Trump will last beyond Donald Trump's presidency.
The damage. You mean American citizens being activated in their interests, in their nation's best... English! You mean American citizens being activated in their nation's best interests? Yeah, that probably should continue. People being more engaged with the political process and what it means to not be engaged with it. I live in Canada. There have been generations that have been disengaged from the political process except to go and vote for their team. And it's led us to the situation we're in now.
But at some point, Trump will be gone.
Yes.
And when that happens, there is a question that it doesn't seem a lot of people are thrilled to be dealing with, but we're going to have to deal with it, which is what do we do with the tens of millions of people who voted for Donald Trump?
For the record, David Packman is Jewish. Dehumanizing people and, asking a question about a group of people and then trying to find a solution to those people. You're not real good with the self-introspection, are you there, Dave?
Sometimes not once, not twice, but 3 times. Now,
I
I am not talking about the elected officials. I'm talking about regular voters. Your
neighbor.
Your cousin, the guy at the gym, the parent at your kid's school. Do we treat them like they simply made a political mistake? Or do we treat them like they participated in something so corrosive to democracy?
when people point out to me that today's North American society is very reminiscent of the Weimar Republic, initially I said, no, it's not like... And then I see things like this, and I go, gods. It's weird how the sides have flipped, though.
Democracy, that we can no longer see them in a normal way anymore. I think what...
Sorry. Yeah. Salty Cracker said he's a beady-eyed dipshit that needs help opening jars. Yes, but being a weak man is no excuse for being weak-minded. I thought I had made a comment. I probably made the comment on the repost. But you would think someone who comes from a people who are so concerned about being dehumanized and having a question based around them and people trying to find solutions about them, you would think they would be a little more self-introspective and maybe not, seek polarization so much. Weird, huh? Yeah. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Idris Elba's being an idiot again. Look, kids, another idiot celebrity proving Ricky Gervais right yet again. Yep. Let me pause this. Okay. From Lander. A great follow, by the way. Most Army officers get a sword when they commission. Mine was paid for by my grandmother, who has since passed away. It is now a family heirloom. However, because black youths in London keep stabbing each other, it's not just the black youths, and there's a lot of different ethnicities, but there's a lot of stabbing, too. In London, keep stabbing each other, I should need a license or forfeit it. Just deport them all. Yeah, when you serve with the military, you should automatically, because you're trained on these things, you should automatically have greater firearms rights than the average citizen. You should absolutely not have to surrender a sword that was a commissioned item. Yeah, right. But let's listen to Idris Elba being an absolute full-on fucktard.
The truth is that kitchen knives are perhaps 25% of the knives used in...
A quarter of the knives used, and this is your focus. Okay, why are you not more concerned with the actual majority of the knives that are used? Yet again, this is as deadly as a kitchen knife. Potentially more so because it's a lot easier to conceal. It's a bit sticky. I need to clean it. But it's potentially a lot easier to conceal. And a concealed weapon is generally far more dangerous than an unconcealable one. For a couple of reasons. One, you're more likely to find people with bad intentions carrying them. And two, you have a lot less warning that someone is carrying it. If you engage your situational awareness at all. But what he's about to say is one of the stupidest things I've heard in forever.
Most of the terrible crimes. That's one of the stats in the films. And those kitchen knives are usually a domestic situation.
Well, yes, that's where kitchens are, in domestic situations. Thanks, Idris. I'm really glad you didn't want to be James Bond now, which also was proof that you were an idiot.
Okay. So kitchen knives, of course, is very difficult. They're a domestic knife. I do think there is areas of...
There is areas? Dude, for someone with that accent, you should speak better English.
Innovation that we can do with kitchen knives. I hate to say it, not all kitchen knives need to have a point on them. That sounds like a crazy thing to say, but actually it would reduce. You can still cut your food without the point on the knife, which is an innovative way to sort of look at it. And in a country in crisis...
Yeah, take the points off the knives. Yeah, that will solve the problem. Because the problem is the knife, not the motivations of the people carrying them. Okay. Let's say I can't carry a knife somewhere. Give me a second. But let's say I can't carry a knife anywhere. And I can carry, say, a cane. Yeah. That's just a sledgehammer handle, which I'm planning to turn into a set of bowken at some point. But, yeah, that's a 2 foot? Foot and a half? Let's find out. Yes, I am a woodworker. Yes, I do occasionally keep a measuring tape on my table. It's 21 3/4 inches. So it's just about 2 feet. That can go down a pant leg. Not my pant leg, I'm too fat for that. But carrying, if you put a sledgehammer head back on this, carrying this in public is going to be generally considered totally innocuous. But, put that back in the rack where it belongs. There we go. But that is potentially a more deadly weapon than a knife, especially certainly than the knife I just showed you, which is my general everyday carry for utility purposes. Yeah, a full-on cane is 3 to 4 feet long. A walking stick, such as the ones that I make, are 4 feet long, up to 5 in some cases. So essentially it's a short staff. Those are generally going to be overlooked by anyone looking for something that they would consider a weapon. It's not ever about the item. It's about the motivation of the person holding it.
I'm sorry, but yeah, let's look at that. But the truth is, all knives, you know, the loophole on the heritage knives allows the sale of zombie.
See, they're so focused on this word zombie. Zombie was a brand name or like a decorative word that was on knives. And for some reason, the Brits latched onto this idea that zombie knives are horrible, evil things. I can spray paint the word zombie on my car. Does that make my car somehow inherently more dangerous? These people, I don't understand this, but...
Ninja sword.
Okay. The ninja sword thing pisses me off too because I am a massive fan of the old ninja movies from the 80s, 70s, and 80s. Those ninja swords are a complete fictional creation. They never actually existed. They were created by Hollywood. God bless the Japanese for latching onto these things. Yeah, the ninjato, the ancient shadow warrior weapon, yeah, no, it's total bullshit. Doesn't mean I don't still love the genre and still love the lore of things like shinobis. But, yeah, this idea that a certain item... Do you have any idea how many things are sold under the term ninja swords that aren't even swords?
Swords to be sold. So while...
Now, I'm not sure what he means by a heritage knife either. I'm going to assume he's maybe talking about something like an antique, like a hunting knife that your grandfather passed down to you, things like that. Okay, sure, I can see you not wanting people to carry those in public, because you're trying to keep stabbings down. You know what beats a knife? Is a gun. If you were to license, or not even license, if you were simply to allow people in London to concealed carry at will a firearm, yeah, there's going to be shootings, because people are fucking stupid. But in very short order, the criminals will realize, shit, we don't know who's got a gun and who doesn't. Yeah, two things will happen in the criminal's mind. We better knock this shit off, and we better get guns. The problem is, them getting a gun still just puts them on a level playing field. If they have a gun and no training, and you have a gun and you're trained, you have an advantage. I mean, if they're popping rounds off with their arm bent like this and trying to aim along a barrel that's horizontal and have no idea how to use iron sights, and you do, or you're legally allowed to have a scope, yeah, it kind of puts the advantage back in the citizens' hands, which, you know, I'm all for. Yeah.
You know, you've got your granddad's sword on there and you want that, that's fine, of course.
Okay, nobody is leaving the house with their granddad's sword. You can't go buy your granddad's sword at a hardware store. You can buy a set of steak knives, or letter openers, or screwdrivers. Yeah. The reason I said Idris Elba was being an idiot here is this, and it may be actually one of my comments in this post. Here it is. Yeah, who knew Idris Elba was a fucking idiot? As if the same youths who figured out they could just throw acid in people's faces and rob them couldn't figure out how a fucking grinder and a whetstone work. Yeah. Oh, look. Hey guys, I've got this batch of 24 knives that have no points. And I've got a wood shop. Or I've got a grinder and a whetstone. Give me a couple hours, we'll have nice pointy knives again. Yeah. Angry Bootneck says, you are far too sensible to have gone through Sandhurst. I always said I only liked half the booty officers and 10% of the Pongo ones I met. British slangs completely got me mystified there. I'll revise that figure up to 12%. Unsure whether to take this as an insult or a compliment. Whenever in doubt, I take it as a compliment. That's a good choice. Yeah. Let's see. What's up next? Oh, yeah. Speaking of the clown show, let's come to Canada. This is cute. From Table Salt. Canada manufactures plastic straws and cups and exports them so Justin and Katy Perry can use them at Coachella, but does not allow them for their own citizens. Canada is not a serious country. Yeah. This is, yeah. David Bexley, I believe, was the ambassador to the U.S.
Answer to the question, though, is why is it okay for Canada to export these materials for consumer use in other countries, but we can't use them here at home?
So we are domestically doing what we can to protect.
So then why enable?
Hang on. I'm going to have to back this up. I want to see what she was talking about protecting.
Domestically doing what we can to protect.
So then why?
I think she said environment or climate. Making straws out of paper requires trees be cut down. Canada has so many trees, we are a net absorber of carbon dioxide pollution. Yeah, not only are we not part of the problem, we are part of the solution to the problem.
Enable other countries to pursue a toxic.
Well, my hope is through global plastics treaties, we're actually going to move the world away from.
Why not stop exporting? I mean, that would.
Why not stop producing?
Would contribute to your goals, right?
I think, well, first, common goals for all Canadians to not want to have plastics washing up on our shores and not have them.
Okay, Princess, you may not be aware of this. Canada doesn't dump whack loads of plastic into the ocean. We just don't do that. 90% of the plastic that washes up here in Newfoundland on the beach that I used to walk around on when I was a kid had Asian symbolism on it. In Newfoundland. In the North Atlantic. How much circulation did that shit have to go through in the ocean before it washed up here? There is a giant gyre of plastic out in the Pacific, supposedly. I've never seen it. I've seen footage that claims to be from it. Sure, maybe. If it is, fine. Just go out and clean it up. Okay. You know, when I was a kid, environmentalism meant when you go out in the woods, you don't leave garbage behind. Simple. You leave nothing that you... How was the expression? Take everything you... No. I don't remember the exact expression anymore. But the idea was basically, if you bring trash, it goes home with you.
In our
so you're spaces. Telling me that it's okay for plastic to fall in or be dumped into the Milk River in Montana, flow into Alberta, and that's okay because, you know, it's okay to export it to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this guy's all that serious either, but yeah, I mean, I highly doubt Montana's throwing a lot of plastic into their rivers either. Excuse me.
It still shows up on our shores, so I'm trying to understand the hypocrisy of the changes. Answer to.
Yeah, I mean, Canada's still exporting plastic straws and plastic forks and plastic spoons and all the stuff we're not allowed to use, but we make it and send it out. So that's not hypocritical? Dear God, these two idiots. These are grown adults dressed like teenagers. Sick. Grok, how much plastic is in Katy Perry's yacht and jet? Use plastic straws as measuring units. Yeah, and I did say unfucking believable hypocrisy. Let's see what Grok had to say here. Katy Perry owns a 78-foot vintage Fade ship yacht Caravel, with plastic in the interiors, fittings, and composites likely equaling hundreds of thousands to millions of straws. She charters private jets. Modern ones use tons of carbon fiber composites and plastics in structure and cabins. That's millions more straw units. Yeah, the ban for thee, not for me vibe checks out. Yeah. Speaking of bans, this is probably would have been in my good news category if I'd been paying attention to what I was bookmarking, but I didn't. From the New Right. Breaking. Pride flags have been banned from Alberta classrooms. This is a step in the right direction. Yes, it is. The pride flag, especially this particular pride flag, which is termed the Progress Pride flag, if I recall correctly, is a political statement, not a statement of inclusion. In fact, it's one of the most exclusionary symbols you can see these days because it excludes exclusively straight white males. Yeah. This is disgusting. You people are acting like it's a crime. Relax, man. It's just a flag. It's not going to hurt you or poison you or skin you alive. This is the argument of people who... Well, this is woe's gambit. A significant portion of arguing at the left is realizing that they will intentionally misunderstand an argument so that they can create a straw man and argue you down. You're just overreacting. The New Right responds with, it's not just a flag, it's a symbol of how perverted our culture has become. I'm glad it's getting torn down in Alberta. Yep, same. Did I have any comment on this at all? I don't believe so. Violence and mental illness, bring me your children, drag queen story hour, yeah. Yeah, if this flag is acceptable in classrooms, why isn't every political statement flag? Because make no mistake, that flag is a political statement. So, yeah. Why are you attempting to recruit children to be part of your political campaign? It's almost like you think everybody should be an asset. It's very Canadian government thinking of you. Yeah, if you're wondering why Canadian roads are so wonderfully safe. From Ryan Garrettson, if you want to know why our roads are so incredibly dangerous, just listen to this. The Auditor General Shelley Spence says 25% of truck driving schools have never been inspected by the government. Never. That's a quarter of them. And those that have been around since 2009, and of those that have been around since 2019, only 41% have had follow-up inspections. Absolutely outrageous. Yeah, this is from the Ontario Parliamentary Channel.
There are seemingly a lot of unqualified drivers on the road.
Our investigation...
Do you have a rough idea of, are we talking hundreds, thousands of drivers? Like, how big is this problem?
We don't have that kind of data to be able to elaborate on that.
Why not? It's a matter of public safety. You should have every piece of data potentially relevant to it.
But what I can say is that our testing did find some gaps, and our recommendations are made to fill those gaps so that we ensure we do have safe drivers on the road.
When it comes to setting up these schools, you said 25% of them haven't been inspected. Do they go through inspection before they're set up, or are there some private career colleges which have basically never had anyone from the government set foot in them or be involved even in setting up their programs?
That is true. 25.
They're not even involved in the setup process. So they don't have to match any regulation. So I could walk into Ontario, I could open a school. I would assume it would be a good idea for me to have a license. I do have better than Class 5, which is, the baseline in Canada is Class 5. I do have slightly better. Yeah. The fact that a quarter of them have never even had any contact with government, yeah, that means you can play the jackpot, and you have a 1 in 4 chance of not ever having to worry about the government coming to have a look at you. That's disturbing.
5% had never been inspected, and then for those that are supposed to be re-inspected in a 5-year period, we found that 44% of those had not been re-inspected. So we did recommend that they increase the number of inspections that are being done because
Okay, so Did you, at the same time, recommend hiring more inspectors?
It is very important that they're following the rules.
Yeah. Further proof Canadian government doesn't give a fuck about Canadians. Yep. This has undoubtedly caused actual harm to people. Yes, not just to people, to the reputation of the trucking industry, to all sorts of issues. Cis Settler says, I am so sick of hearing the horrors daily and seeing absolutely nothing change to fix it. Yep. Let's see. So dangerous. Quebec police catch one with... okay, I think this was translated. Quebec police's catch one with over 50 irregularities on just one truck. These people are putting drivers and motorcyclists in danger, and little is being done about it. I would not want to be a motorcyclist on Canada's highways right now. You need to have your head absolutely on a swivel. Yeah. But, you know, since we're talking about pollution and how bad the plastic straw thing was, let's talk about pollution in other places. Yeah. They tell us from Rothmas, do your part, white boy. Yeah, you're trying to suck through a paper straw to save the climate. Meanwhile, in Pakistan, they do this. They collect garbage and just dump it in the river. Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah. Let's not forget Canada still manufactures single-use plastic. Yeah, we covered that just a bit ago. What are you talking about? They're so green, they've got solar panels right there. Yeah. Convenience opens the door to limitless stupidity. The only reason why the elites are demonizing CO2, carbon dioxide, is because they think Earth is allegedly overpopulated. A 1 part per million increase in CO2 equates to a 0.4/0.6/1% yield increase for corn, soybean, and wheat, respectively. Yeah, the more CO2 in the atmosphere, the faster our food grows. Funny fucking thing, the Sahara is actually getting greener. It's almost like putting more CO2 into the atmosphere is good for plants. You know, the things we eat, unless you're vegan, in which case, stop killing the plants, you weirdo. Let them feed the cows that feed me. Yeah. Okay, and this is the last part of the comment section. We'll do some laughing after this. From Alberta. It appears that a judge, and I'm going to pause this, it appears a judge in Alberta has essentially tossed out the separatist petition that had over 300,000 signatures. Danielle Smith says they will be appealing as she believes there has been an error in law and it's anti-democratic. This is going to get ugly. This is the beginning of the fight. When the threshold was made, the 170,000 signature threshold was put together, I would assume government figured that was high enough that it wouldn't be reached. The fact that it was blown past by almost a factor of 2 inside of a year is pretty friggin' telling about what Alberta thinks about Canada.
I just spoke with Mitch Sylvester, the CEO of the Alberta Prosperity Project, and he told me that he expected this court decision to come down the way that it did, and he also expects you to call a referendum in response to it. So, I'm wondering what your message is for the people who do expect you to call a referendum.
Well, as you know, we make our decisions in government through a process that includes committees, through cabinet, as well as through caucus. And so my caucus has just learned of this decision. It just came down while we were in the legislature and haven't had a time to get together and discuss what our next steps will be. The committee has been meeting to look at the Forever Canada petition and to offer some suggestions about what should be done with that one as well. But we haven't made a decision yet. But I can tell you on this case in particular, this judgment, we think that there has been an error in law, which is why we're going to be appealing it. And
okay, that's enough for that. Now, I'm curious about the Forever Canada petition signatures number. Yeah, how many signatures does that thing have? The Forever Canadian petition collected 456 signatures, which significantly exceeded the required threshold of 293,000, 10% of eligible electors, to trigger a potential referendum on Alberta remaining in Canada. So, between both, there's over 750,000 signatures to have a referendum. It's kind of telling. Supposedly, it's been verified as well. Remember when I say trust but verify? I really mean that when we're talking about CBC. Let me close that window. There we go. Forever Canadian petition verified as successful by Elections Alberta. Gee, I can't imagine why one would be verified and the other one would be thrown out. Thomas Lukachuk, who originated the petition, spoke to supporters and media in October after announcing the petition's success. A citizen initiative petition. Now, I will point out, it's very clear that Canada has maple-flavored Pravda. We have propagandists being paid by the government to tell us the news. If you just listen to the language used to describe this the language used in this article versus the language used in an article about the separation petition, yeah, it's very different. Elections Alberta said the petition had 438,568 valid signatures counted and 404,293 verified signatures after a random statistical sampling method was applied. So, what'd you use? AI? Yeah. The petition was launched to counter Alberta separatists who want a reform on province's independence. The petition, launched by former Deputy Premier Thomas Lukachuk, I knew I recognized the name, asks, do you agree that Alberta should remain within Canada? Elections Alberta said it's estimated about 13.6% of electors in the province signed the petition. Well, if that's 13.6% at 440 signatures, that's what? We'll say 330 for the independence crowd, so that would be a quarter difference. So a quarter of, call it 13 divided by 4 is 3.3, 3.2, 3.25. So 3.25 off of that would be 10. So you're still looking at over 10% of electors in Alberta want separation. It's going to be a messy argument. While the petition could trigger a referendum, Lukachuk has previously said that his goal is to have Premier Danielle Smith call the petition's question in the legislature and have MLAs vote on it. This is not a situation where you should allow elected representatives to have the only say. If it were, then that should have been the way it was for Quebec. Yeah, some of us still remember the 90s. Pepperidge Farm fucking remembers, I'll tell you that. Okay, let's have some jokes and laughs and get out of here. Or, actually, I'll probably spend an hour gaming. So, it is Fandom Friday, and I don't have a lot for Fandom Friday, but I do have this.
Hi, I'm David Mencken. I play Hugh in Pragmata. And I just found out that we've reached over 2 million copies sold. So, to all of you who play on PS5, on Xbox, on Switch 2, on Steam, thank you so much for playing the game. And thank you for letting us know how much you love it. We see the artwork, we see the streams, we see the videos. It's much appreciated. From Space Dad to all of you. Thanks.
Oh, I forgot to turn my camera back on. So yeah, you know, as with Tom Cruise being very thankful, very kind to the fans, this is how you actually get people to engage with the content you create. You be grateful, be thankful, be appreciative. Tell them, hey, you guys are actually loving this. We love that you love this because we loved making this. That passion has always been how nerds communicate. It's never really been about the words. It's always been about the passion we have for something. And the fact that this is giving women ovarian contractions is, you know, kind of cool too. Okay. What's this one? That's not fandom, that's lulz. Okay, let's have some laughs. I'm going to have to scroll out a bit. So Alberta is beating California at their own game. California is beating Alabama at theirs. Yeah, Alabama currently is doing economically better than Canada, and as you'll learn, has something else going over California.
Alabama is now beating California in math and English scores for K through 12 students. Yeah. And you want to know what California is beating Alabama on? Children born from first cousins. I'm not making this up.
Yes. Alabama is now richer than Canada, smarter than California, and less inbred than California. Fuck my life. I never thought I'd see the day. Sorry. Excuse me. Oh, dear. I want to just let you read this one, but I will read it to you. Breaking, the LA mayoral candidate Nithya Raman, who is obviously Indian, I believe, comes out against high-speed rail. In my home country, trains kill thousands a year. The natural predator of the Indian is the high-speed rail. Okay, now it's more laughs.
What is this here? A study in Sweden showed that the egg can ignore the ideal sperm even if it's the first one to arrive. Women make terrible choices even at the cellular level. Amazing I saw this.
Excuse me. Yeah. Being that it is in fact Fandom Friday, this one does fit in.
Hey man, I just paid $400 for a Steam controller.
Dear
what?
God.
On eBay? Well, why'd you do that? They sold out in 30 minutes. MSRP is literally $100, but they sold out in 30 minutes. You paid 4 times MSRP. Yeah, I did. To a scalper. Yeah, he seemed nice. Who bought it from Valve for $100. Yeah. And now is mailing it back to you. Why do you keep asking? Because Valve has a 14-day refund policy. And if everyone just waited 2 weeks, the scalpers would have panicked, returned everything, and Valve would have put them right back on the store for $100. You funded his whole operation. Oh, I did not. It's just $400. It's no big deal. You literally did. Well, can I cancel? I gotta do something. No, you can't. It's yours now. What's the move now, Zachary? I'm in deep trouble. Oh, check this out. Steam actually pulled an EVGA.
Kudos to Steam for doing this. And I'm on the list for these controllers because, goddamn, it's looking like a really good controller for not much more than I'd pay for garbage Xbox stuff.
And set up a reservation system. Oh, nice. Oh, they're just gonna bot it. It doesn't matter. Actually, no. You've got to have an account with a purchase before April 27th, pay within 72 hours of reserving, and you can only buy one. Gabe and bless us all, except for you. Enjoy your $400 controller. Damn it!
Yep. And the last thing we have today, if you've ever wondered what the difference is between a violin and a fiddle, this will illustrate it quite nicely. I wish it kept going, but this is friggin' hilarious. I do love the costume change here. Though I will point out, why are your wrists and hands so why are your wrists and hands so small that you can just slide them out of the cuffs of your shirt? But then again, not everybody is built like my meaty ass, so. I do love that he just grabs the overalls, or the bib-alls, and, yep, just the one strap's all you need. And beat-up hat. Okay, folks, so that's going to be it for me today. Well, for this part, for the recorded section. If you like what I do and you would like to support me, you can in fact throw me a Rumble rant, as Mr. Grant Gregory did. Thank you very much. Also, thanks again to Jay for popping in. Do go over to the Full Aussie podcast, the FAP, on Rumble and YouTube. I believe it will be tomorrow morning for North America, tonight for them, that they'll be doing their next show, which should be Into the Chappa Eye, I think, generally Stargate focused. Yeah, if you would like to support me, you can go fling me a few bucks on Ko-Fi. I actually do prefer that to the Rumble rants, as Rumble takes a significant cut. But, you know, that's fine. You know, I can't tell you how to spend your money, but I can suggest how I would like you to do it. Ko-Fi takes a significantly lower cut. Let's see. Other than that, if you'd like to support me without spending any money, you can chat, comment. I'm actually going to read this thing for once. You can chat, comment, follow, like, share, or subscribe, depending on what platform you're on. If you follow me on Rumble, that's as good as subscribing on YouTube. If you subscribe on Rumble, you're actually going to be on the hook for a monthly payment. If you're going to pay me monthly, do it in Ko-Fi. I'd way rather that. Other than that, if you would like to socialize with me, you can find me on Gab, GETTR, Gander. Don't get excited about Gander. Substack and X. Other than that, if you do support me on a monthly basis on Ko-Fi, you can ask me not to, but you can get your name in the ticker, alongside Zenrab7, Sadie Sapientia, and Simon JJ. Other than that, I am going to take a short smoke break. I'll probably be 10 minutes, and I will be back to play a little bit of something. Probably Skyrim, because I still haven't been able to get Fallout New Vegas to work properly. In any case, folks, for those of you who are leaving at this point or watching in the future, I hope you're doing well. I hope you continue to do well. And as always, rise and rise again until lambs become lions. Bye-bye.